Military watches, that's an interesting genre because it often combines history with accuracy, functionality and robustness. No bullshit watches, tools for a purpose. And so I was very interested when CWC announced a limited edition of their aviation chronograph, equipped with new old stock Valjoux movements. Let's go over the specifications. We have a hand-wound chronograph with a case diameter of 40 mm, a lug-to-lug length of 46 and 12 mm in height. The lug width is 20. The watch has an acrylic crystal, a sapphire see-through caseback, and inside we find the mentioned Valjoux 7733, which you can see as the hand-wound version of the automatic Legend 7750. By the way, you could never build a 12 mm high watch with a 7750 because of the massive rotor, so excellent choice here. Water tightness is not stated, but it's an older construction and so maybe 50 meters. And the price, goodness, the price cannot be mentioned now, because you would yell, "What?" I will stop watching this video until somebody has corrected that price tag. Patience guys, the unspeakable will be revealed in 2 minutes. But first the dial. Here we find some typical elements I'd like to explain. First we see of course maximum legibility, white on black, no distraction. We have the CWC logo and a circle T that stands for tritium, because these watches were issued to RAF pilots mostly in the 80s, where tritium was still in use. By the way, they don't state if these dials are new old stock dials too, so I assume they're not, and so I assume they've used modern luminescence here. Then we have this arrow you find on many military watches from the UK. It's called the broad arrow, and it means that this watch here was produced for Britain's Ministry of Defence and issued to military personnel, and so that it was originally British government property. Functions are clear visible, 30-minute counter on the right, seconds on the left in that subdial. Note by the way the small numerals, they clearly didn't want to cut out parts of bigger numbers because it can lead to distraction. The crystal is a plexi as mentioned, and some people will dislike that, but I think it fits the style of the watch. Typical and attractive at the same time is the case form. Lugs and crown guards can be seen as one part. The whole case, including pushes and crown, is without protruding edges, so it's hard to get caught anywhere with this watch, and at the same time it's super comfortable to wear. And here you see now the Valjoux 7733, which is clearly a spectacular beauty. This is an old stock movement as said, but of course in full working order and very robust. The decoration though, you see there on the golden parts, seem to be new. I cannot imagine that they decorated back then movements for the RAF. I mean, these watches came in the 80s with solid casebacks. Keyword solid, the spring bars are fixed, so this means you can wear the watch on a NATO or on one of these straps that must be glued around spring bars. And you might say, now that's really not very contemporary, why did they do this? Well, CWC is not a brand with a fake military story behind it. It was founded in 1972 in England as the Cabot Watch Company, and since then they produce watches to military specifications. Today, of course, quartz watches like the Royal Navy Divers, that is way more affordable than our limited edition here. And the sapphire caseback proves that CWC is willing to use modern materials but not the front crystal. And tradition is the next keyword here. The target audience for watches like this, which is limited to 100 pieces, are true fans of the genre and patriots from the UK. These people are willing to spend big money on watches, and so the price for the CWC limited edition Valjoux 7733 Pilot Chronograph is £5,000. Don't kill me, I'm only the messenger here, but £5,000 are 5,800 euros or 6,125 US dollars. So I haven't shown you this watch here as an advertising. There are other reissues from other brands available for a fraction of the price, but I find it important that we study the original at least one time. And that said, allow me to close this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much and see you next Monday to Watch of the Week.